After all the bashing I do of Scrap Mechanic, I think it's only fair that we have a look at the devblog. There is a new devblog, Devblog 24. It is here now. So we'll have a look, read through, see what it says. Devblog 24 is here, and straight away we're introduced with a picture that they kind of tease a little bit on Twitter. You know how I feel about them teasing, but let's see what they've got to say. New devblog coming through. It's been a busy month for us as we have been moving Scrap HQ to a bigger and better office. Team outgrew the old space and things were getting as cramped as a what crate. So can people now please stop saying that they have a small team, because they've had to move offices because, in their own words, their team outgrew their old space. So they've got a big team now. Let's see what they've been working on. So they've been saying that they've been working on all new content for us that they can't wait to show us. Straight away, it is a mine bot. Interesting little character, and if I do believe, Ant was probably right in saying that the front wheel looked a little bit like a shovel, and I do believe that could quite possibly be what it is. As you see, he doesn't look very friendly though. He is flying around a little bit crazy. He's sort of coming in and taking us out. Very, very interesting thing indeed. But what's it say down here? The mine bot. What's that coming from the mine? It's a new bot. Introducing the miner bot. Scrap Mechanic's first flying bot. These heavily overworked bots are flying on fumes. After all, they've been digging random holes underground in every direction, slowly overheating for who knows how long. If spotted, the miner bot will spray the mechanic it detects with a shower of rocks. So they are a little bit dangerous for us. While the mine bots are not as accurate or alert as the tape bots, that's good. They can become very dangerous very quickly in large numbers, just like any other bot really. But even if you do shoot them down, watch out, the miner bot will crash into you. The miner bot is shaping up to be something that can even top the current bots. That'll be interesting, so where it kind of falls on the danger level. Now this looks very interesting and kind of weirdly placed on the back of this truck. But it does look like it's some sort of soil bed. And what have we got? UV grow beds. Plant a farm underground or on creations with the aid of the new UV grow bed. This new farming item gives you greater flexibility than ever in exchange for electricity, but be careful, bots can still find you and your precious crops, so you better encase those veggies in some sturdy material. And while you're at it, why not make a gun turret for good measure? That's interesting, because the whole point of the soil was it limited where you were actually able to make a base. Well, now we've got these grow plots, and yes, don't get me wrong, you can see that you only fit one item in each grow plot, and we don't know how much battery they consume, but clearly they consume battery. But it now means that you could pretty much build anywhere, potentially. I mean, if you can build on a creation, I'm assuming you can build anywhere. So how overpowered are these things going to be? It'll be interesting to find out. Looks like they got maybe something going on with the shaders, perhaps. They tried to make the lighting look a little bit better. It does seem like it's got more kind of cinematics to it. I don't know. Yeah, I think they've toyed with something, haven't they, for sure. They have a new lighting system. Okay. This has been a long time coming. It is almost done. The lighting system in Scrap Mechanic has been completely reworked for next chapter. That's going to be interesting. I'm kind of liking this new feel of this last gift that we've got down here, though. This significantly improves the game's visual and further optimizes the frame rate for players. We can now run double the amount of light sources and are no longer limited to 24 cast shadows anymore. Any light that casts a shadow can now render in real time. Interesting. But wait, there's more. We now also have a volumetric light in our engine that looks stunning. Even the particles are volumetrically lit. Wow. This all helps create the look and the mood that we always wanted to evoke in Scrap Mechanic, especially in the next chapter. I'm kind of interested by that. I'm interested in what they've done to the game engine to do that, though. Because they build their own game engine, which, yeah, obviously it worked way back when, but now the game engines have evolved a bit. But there is a little bit more sort of bloom to it. You got more of that little kind of cloudy edge around the lights. Or bloom is the technical term, I guess. It looks nice. It does look nice, especially the bottom one, like I say, where you can see the way that the particles are on the little... the greenies. I can't remember what they're called. I do like that, the way that the lighting works for that one. Builder quests. Okay, so the quest system shows its first signs. We know that the world of Scrap Mechanic Survival is very pretty, but that it's also pretty empty at the moment. That's all about to change with the new builder quests. While you're out exploring and collecting resources, you'll come across characters that need help to build a variety of things. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit more juice to the game. We're getting a little bit more context. Okay. This truck looks terrifying, by the way. Ooh, Fire! It is on fire! It is on fire. Just like the shack is on fire. Oh, wow. Okay, so whether or not you know, all the parts in Scrap Mechanic have a fire damage stat, and they've not been much use. This is obviously going to change. Everyone wondered what those flammable entries in the item descriptions mean? At long last, we have added a fire game mechanic. Now, fires will spread if you do not put them out. And with its introduction to the red tote bots, we expect that things are going to get a lot more heated. This might be a good time to check whether your base is fireproof. Fire is a lot of fun to play with in creative mode, and it's certainly satisfying to watch. I wonder how much lag that's going to bring. Because you know, if you have like too much little parts and moving parts and stuff, the game does get a bit skitty. With that thing burning up, it's going to be interesting. It does add an extra depth to things for sure. Only time will tell how it plays out though. Is this another warehouse? It is a warehouse. They're just showing off the lighting again, or? New warehouse. Okay. The new warehouse is finally done. There are new sections, secrets, better rewards, and some really interesting content hidden away at the top floor and the rooftop that are waiting for you to discover it. Ooh, got new clothing, new backpack. It's going to be interesting. But it also looks like it fuels up something. And that's like a little gardener's backpack. Interesting. Oh, this is interesting. What is this? I'm guessing this is obviously to do with the underground, but what is he just shot out of that capsule? That's a load of bots that have just come out of that. Or that are going into that. Are these the little... Oh no, they're still the normal tote bots. The drill spawner. Even under the ground, there is no peace for a farm mechanic. When you're hard at work in the bowels of the earth, watch out for these burrowing enemy spawners. That's kind of interesting, I guess, that they've brought in a whole unit to spawn units. It's different. So, what's the status of the next chapter, devs? This is where the nitty-gritty is. Let's have a look. Time for some dev transparency. We are fully aware of all the mechanics that are waiting for the next chapter to finally come out. We see you on Twitter, and we really do understand, I bet. We always try to be optimistic when it comes to our releases, but making quality games is a lot of work. We know you have high expectations, and we want to live up to them with the next chapter. A new thing that is currently slowing things down is our decision that the huge release of the next chapter is also going to be the update that will take Scrap Mechanic out of early access. Well, that's brilliant. That is good news that Chapter 2 is going to pull the game out of early access after 6 years. That's cool. But we still don't have a when. So this changes a few things. It means that a lot of extra polish and optimizations have to be in place as well as on release. That's fair enough. This doesn't mean it's the last update, however. It just means that Scrap Mechanic will be in a releasable state. So to reiterate, we're polishing up the game, adding a ton of new content on top, while also adding more things to our game engine at the same time. The next chapter is shaping up nicely on our end. We have to let it take the time it needs to become something worthy of your time and expectations, as well as something that we can be proud of. We're sorry for the long wait, and the mechanics will have to wait a bit longer, but we will deliver mechanic awesomeness, and that's a promise. Okay, so here, again, I'm sorry. I appreciate what they're saying about they're pulling the whole game out of early access, and it'll be the full release. But again, they're just telling us, oh, just wait a little bit of time. There's a risk. Every time they've released a tiny little bit of an update, they've had to do a lot of bug fixes, as any game does. My fear here is they're working so much content that there's going to be a huge amount of bug fixes that they're going to have to do on release. Would they not have been better to trickle out a little bit of content to keep myself, I'm not going to lie, and some other of the user base happy, so that they're spoon feeding something, so that when final release comes, there's sort of, yes, I agree, it's a less of a big jump from what we're currently playing in early access to the final release, but at the same time, it's a safer jump in that they won't have to do so much work. I just feel that this is a little bit of excuse making in a way, of them saying, look, we see you, and we've heard that you're having to wait a long time, and, you know, we're expecting a lot, but this is only going to put more pressure on them by saying, we're now going to be pulling in so much stuff. It's going to be release value. It's going to be, you know, full game is coming out. So now what you've done is took my expectations from, you know, Chapter 2 coming out in early access to now Scrap Mechanic game full release. But you've still had 6 years to do that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't hold out much hope that it's going to be anytime soon. I'd like it to be within the next 6 months, but I don't really see it being within the next 6 months at all, I guess. But there you go. Tell me what you think. See what you feel. That's the new Devblog. This is the latest Devblog. What do you guys think about it? Could be fun. Well, it looks good. I'll give them that. It does look good.